this tree right here was here. I don't know if it was here in the 90s or not, but this is another volunteer tree. It's a hackberry tree. And it just grew up there, and so it's not really a part of the collection, but I suppose it could be labeled it another shrub-like. I'd call this. I wouldn't call it necessarily an understory. Well, how would you describe that Carolina allspice?
Well, it's a good filler. It's a thick growth shrub. Has an interesting fruit that's left on it. If we go up here at the edge of the plant itself, you can see this allspice, and I believe this is these pods that dry in the fall and winter. Then I believe these are the same allspice that people use in their herb selection. It's a beautiful glossy leafed shrub.
And next to it is a yew. This in here, it was a post. We have to keep moving the post out because as we put the post, identifying post in there, and then the thing grows, and there's no paid person. It's all, the Arboretum is all volunteer, so this could probably use some pruning, right?
Selective pruning in places, yes, to kind of just, but it does have an artistic look to it with the branches that kind of splay out onto the trail.
That's one thing about Mr. Roman. He had become interested in planting as a child as a young man. He and his mother developed and grew iris of all kinds, which got him interested in trees and arboretums and things like that. And he had a couple sayings. One was, an arboretum is not a backyard. Some people think you ought to mow it all up and make it. And his philosophy was, that isn't the objective, to make it look like somebody's backyard, And so his comment was, he wanted things to grow the way they wanted to grow, not the way, say, some person would say, well, I want to prune this to look like this or this. His philosophy was prune only a very little bit and let the plant be what it wants to be. So I always think that an arboretum is kind of like an art gallery, that instead of paintings or sculptures or the objects, just look at the different things, so I guess what I think is an arboretum isn't necessarily a static thing, it's changing all the time.